In this lesson, we're going to discuss the characteristics of storage. Now, cloud storage is a type of data storage where data is going to be stored on remote servers that can be accessed over the internet. This data is going to be stored on servers that are owned and maintained by a third-party provider, such as Amazon Web Services or AWS, Microsoft Azure, or Google Cloud Platform, known as GCP. These providers offer a variety of features and characteristics to help businesses and individuals manage all of their data in the cloud, and each of these solutions does have its own set of advantages and disadvantages that you should be aware of. In this lesson, we're going to discuss two common cloud storage characteristics: performance and hot versus cold storage. First, let's talk about performance. Performance is a characteristic that refers to the speed and reliability of the data being accessed inside of the cloud storage system. The performance of cloud storage can be affected by lots of different factors, including things like network latency, data transfer speeds, and the number of concurrent users who are accessing that data. For example, a cloud storage provider with high performance will be able to quickly access and transfer large amounts of data, while a provider with low performance may experience delays and slower transfer speeds. The advantage of using high-performance cloud storage is that it allows for faster and more efficient access to the data. However, the disadvantage is that the higher performance storage will also become more expensive for you. Next, we need to discuss hot storage versus cold storage. Now, hot storage, also known as active storage, is a characteristic that refers to data that's frequently accessed and updated. This type of storage is often used for data that's critical to an operation of a business, such as your customer information and financial data. For example, a business that needs to access and update customer information on a regular basis would need to do that using hot storage. The advantage of using hot storage is that it allows for quick and easy access to the data that's being frequently used by your organization. However, the big disadvantage to using hot storage is that it's more expensive than using a cold storage solution. This brings us to the idea of cold storage. Now, cold storage, also known as archival storage, is a characteristic that refers to data that is infrequently accessed and updated. This type of storage is often used for data that's not critical to the operation of your business on a day-to-day basis. This includes things like backups and historical data. For example, a business that needs to store data for compliance or legal purposes could use cold storage. The advantage of cold storage is that it's less expensive than hot storage because it does not require the same level of performance and accessibility. However, the disadvantage is that data stored in cold storage can take us longer to access and retrieve when we want to access that data. Now, each cloud service provider uses different names for their different types of hot and cold storage. For example, Amazon Web Services calls their hot storage the Amazon Elastic Block Store, or EBS, and this provides the fastest possible performance for indexing and searching of new data. Amazon also uses Amazon S3, also known as the Amazon Simple Storage Service, as a form of hot storage or infrequently accessed storage. This type of storage also combines the Amazon S3 with the Amazon Ultra Warm caching system to increase your performance, but it is still slower than a true hot storage solution like Amazon's Elastic Block Store. Now, Amazon's cold storage is known as the Amazon Glacier Cold Storage Service, and this service provides an inexpensive storage solution, but it does have much longer access times than using a hot storage capability. Generally, hot storage contains memory or solid-state devices, while colder storage moves things over to hard disk drives, tape backups, and other types of off-site storage capabilities. So remember, performance and hot versus cold storage are just a few of the characteristics that can be used to improve data storage and help businesses and individuals manage their data more efficiently. Each characteristic does have its own advantages and disadvantages. It's important to consider which characteristics are going to be most important for your specific needs before you choose a cloud service provider. Additionally, organizations should always ensure that the cloud storage provider that they're going to choose is going to comply with the regulations and standards that the organization or business is required to follow, and it's important to have a good data governance strategy in place to ensure that all of your data is stored in the appropriate locations with the right level of accessibility and security.